My name is Mark Witt, and I'm running for juvenile court judge. Our campaign motto is, "Our story begins at home." I was in front of a youth who had been separated. His mom had died, his father had died, his 5 siblings were separated from him. His behavior was delinquent, theirs were simply dependent. They were simply dependent children. And I went to visit him at home and discussing the advantages, where should he go, etc. And I asked him the question, where should I tell the judge to place you? This is a boy with an IQ of about 66, which is to say very, very low. And he looked at me and he said, "Home." I said, why should we place you at home? He looked at me and he said, "That's where I belong." And the lesson that he taught me that night is, he had totally common sense. Home is where he belongs. Our story begins at home. My story begins at home. I'm born, bred, raised, educated, and stayed in Cuyahoga County. This is my home. I went to Mid-Park High School, graduated with honors. I went to Case Western Reserve University. I graduated with honors. And then I went to law school. There were no more honors. I got married during that time. Oh, thank you for correcting me. It's an honor to be married. And speaking of that, 31 years in 2 weeks, and 4 children. They're all adults, and I'm happy to say 2 of them are married and contributing members of our society. That is a level of commitment. Thank you for good friendship. In 1990, my background very quickly, I have about 10 years of public service. I was an assistant director of law for the city of Cleveland. I was an assistant county prosecutor. I was a magistrate in juvenile court. And then I served with the Cuyahoga Metropolitan Housing Authority. In 1996, I parked my career at juvenile court. And the total now is about 20 years that I have had serving juveniles. And it's at this time that I'm asking you for your support in extending that time in juvenile court. If any of you have ever been down there, I'm happy to say we have a new building. And what I would submit to you is that new building is a beautiful, beautiful edifice. It's added professionalism, but a court is not simply bricks and mortar. The court has to serve the community, has to be involved in the community, and it has to provide communication. So I have two prongs, and if you see these cards here, I'd ask you to pick them up. I'd ask for your support. The very first prong of what I would like to do to change and improve Cuyahoga County is to serve and strengthen families by improving the communication and technology at juvenile court. The efficiency of juvenile court is horrible. You can go down there, you can have a hearing set. It'll be set 6 months in advance. You're waiting for a child support hearing. Your children, your grandchildren are waiting for these hearings. And you go down there, you wait for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, and then they tell you the case is continued. There was no need to come down there in the first place. Why does it take so long? Why does it take so long to get that communication in place? And my answer would be, the court is not simply bricks and mortar. They took this beautiful building and they brought the same dysfunctional, non-working computer system. And that's one of the things that needs to be improved. I'm looking to change, I'm looking to move beyond simply providing services to other people, but generating community involvement. All right. I'm sure you're back. All right.
What's your second prong?
Thank you. I want to generate community involvement. I want to generate community involvement, not at taxpayers' cost, to get churches and other organizations involved. Specifically in regards to the computer problem, I would be looking back to my undergraduate university or Cleveland State and get them to do those as studies. It's just not that difficult. Any other questions?
Now, where'd you go to elementary school?
C.A. Thomas.
Which one?
C.A. Thomas.
Okay, because, C.A. Thomas, okay, I taught Maria. Good school.
All right. It is, and I received distinguished alumni from Mid-Park High School. Thank you.